Welcome and warm welcome to High Tech Institute Show.
Someone quickly confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So today, right, we are going to talk about there's a concept called most asked question during the interview. Any DevOps AWS based interview, if you go, people would ask you about the three-tier architecture, because this is the one of the AWS recommended best practices for deploying your application. That is the reason, right? Every project and every interview, it's very keen to understand how much you understanding the three-tier architecture. Okay, so this is the pretty much architecture for the AWS three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture means nothing but it will have a three-layer your application, right? As per AWS recommended best practices, you will have a three-layer, right, deployed into it. Okay, that is what most of things about. Okay, so in that, right, you can see there are AWS Cloud. Here you have your VPC. Okay, your VPC will have a primarily two facing. One is public facing, another one is private facing. If you can see the application load balancer, your load balancer side, right, will have a internet facing actually. People from outside network, they can hit to your public facing one. And you do have a two layers. Okay, those two layers are private facing one. Okay, so you can see the auto scaling, easy to web app server layer, and backside of that we'll have a database. That are those two layers are right comes under the private one. Okay, out of these three layers, one layer would be a public facing, remaining two layer would be private facing. Okay, these three layer, right, furthermore categorized into a three presentation layer is the number one, application tier that is number two, and database tier that is number three. Like we have a major three category. Okay, major three category: presentation tier, application tier, database tier. The presentation tier, right, nothing but your user interface, whatever the application you are accessing, right? Example, if you go and if you search like a Netflix, okay, when you hit for the Netflix website, this is your application, presentation tier. Okay, this is user facing, client facing. Okay, so this particular application currently deployed on AWS, which definitely, right, followed three-tier architecture. Okay, this is something called user interface. This is the user interface. When you browse your domain, right, backend, there is some process happening. The moment you hit netflix.com, backend, there are some processes happening. We'll look into it. But apart from that, right, application tier, there's nothing like business logic has been written over there. And third one is database tier. Okay, data storage. Whatever the content you are accessing, either if you go login, how it's authenticating, whatever the movies if you are playing, right, it should be stored somewhere. There it's required a database tier. So high level AWS service level overview. When you come to presentation, right, what are the AWS services can be used? So presentation tier, right, user access. Okay, primarily user will be looking into the content what you are seeing. So predominantly, right, it used Route 53, CloudFront or ALB. These are the AWS services, right, being used in the presentation tier. Because the moment you hit netflix.com, okay, the moment you hit netflix.com, what happens, either it should be, DNS should be mapped to your website domain, and the CloudFront, okay, you can notice it /in. Okay, what does mean by /in? It's we are accessing it from India, right? So when you are going to that .in, right, which should be routing it through Content Delivery Network, CDN, okay, the CloudFront. So each and every country, right, it will differ. Okay, the caching mechanism will differ. If it is US, right, /US might come. So if you UK, right, /UK might come. Like that, each and every, based on the URL, right, it will reroute. Okay, this is for content delivery network. Of course, ALB, application load balancer. Whenever we are exposing any application in AWS, we might use application load balancer. Okay, this is the presentation layer. The moment you hit netflix.com, this is what happening. The second one is application tier, which means a business logic. Your application, okay, these two layers are private. Mostly these two layers are private. These layers are always going to be public because user is accessing, right? Coming to the business logic, right, you will have a EC2 or ECS where or you can deploy on EKS by helping auto scaling. you can deploy your application. Okay, the application, whatever you are accessing, the Netflix, whatever you are accessing, right? It should be somewhere from this backend logic. Okay, ECS or EKS, EC2, these any one of this application, right? Used in the AWS. Okay, your application is currently deployed in the server. And the last layer is database layer. Okay, data storage. Yeah, in AWS, right? What are the services available? You can use RDS, Aurora, DynamoDB. Any one of this service being used for hosting your storage. Okay, combination of this three tier only people are telling what is three tier architecture. Okay, now if you go for any interview, when people are asking about three tier architecture, you can confidently tell there's a AWS, we'll have one region. In that region, we'll have a VPC. VPC will be come up with two set of subnets. One is public subnet, another one is private subnet. Out of three layer, right? First layer is presentation tier. Second layer is application logic tier. Third one is database tier. Except this application load balancer presentation tier, this will be in public. Remaining two will be in private. Okay. So people can use application load balancer or Route 53 or CDN for the first tier. Second tier, we can use EC2 or EKS or ECS using auto scaling group. Third one, we will use Amazon RDS. This is the three tier based application architecture. So how the route is happening? Okay, how the application flow is happening. The moment user click the netflix.com, you can see here. So again, I'm going there, I'm typing like Netflix.
Even small interruption.
Yeah.
This is applicable to any banking domain also, no? For any banking, if you
Any application. Yeah.
go there, you'll be first go to Route 53 only, no?
Correct. That is what in the flow we are going to see. Here we are going to explain that one only. Okay.
Okay. Please.
So the moment if you take any banking site, whatever, maybe I'll take HDFC Net Banking. The moment you click that link, okay, this is the domain name you can see www.hdfcbank.in. Okay. The moment you click, it is taking you to this particular net banking site, whatever it is. User is browsing in the browser. The very first thing, right? User request will go to Route 53. This is a DNS. Okay, what is the purpose of this DNS? First level, what is the purpose of this DNS? This will make sure your application, right? Whatever the domain name you are given, backend it's stored in any one of the AWS EC2 or ECS or EKS service. Your application is deployed in the backend layer. So what it will do, it will convert the domain name into IP. HDFCbank.in, okay, Netflix.in. Every domain, right, backend it has been associated with any one of the IP address, okay, public IP address. So the primary function of this Route 53 DNS is converting your domain name into IP address. Okay. After that, right, it will go to the DNS resolution, CloudFront. CloudFront, when it comes, when you have our application is globally present, across the world, globally present. Okay. Probably HDFC landing within India, it does not require any content layer network much here. But when you go to Netflix, right, that's the right example. That's why initially I took Netflix. The moment I click netflix.com, right, the domain name is .com only. But based on my location, it automatically identified which location I'm browsing from. See, if you go and type see my IP, okay, it will identifying my location. Based on my city, Chennai fall under India. So it's automatically routing to /in. Okay, but before I hit this /in, it was with www.netflix.com only. The moment I click, it's automatically identifying which IP I belongs to, where I'm located. Okay, since Chennai belongs to India, so automatically, right, you can see it's pointing me to the /in. This is something called the functionality of content delivery network, guys. This is the functionality of content delivery network. Mainly the CDN is used when your application presence in the global level. So even you are going for an attending interview, when you are explaining your application, right, make sure you are taking these kind of global application. Okay, that will have a good impression on you. So that will give you opportunity to talk about CDN. Okay. So the primary functionality of CDN, right, it's totally optional step. Okay, it's only replicable when your application is globally present. So how CDN works? Each and every application, right, will have a global presence. I'll open JS Paint. Imagine your Netflix server, right, located in US. Imagine like that. This is the actual Netflix server. Okay, Netflix application is Netflix server, actual Netflix server you can consider, located in US. Okay, maybe you can consider it comes under AWS only. Okay, so all over the world, okay, imagine this is the entire world, internet, public network. Okay, people are from someone from India, they are accessing, this is the laptop. Someone is accessing from India through laptop. Okay, some user accessing from the mobile phone. UK, I would say. Some European people, right? Accessing from London. Okay. So your Netflix server, right? This is one of the easy to instance. Okay, imagine you have your load balancer, application load balancer in AWS. The application load balancer, which is connected with your server as well as internet. Okay. So people through internet, when they are trying to access Netflix.com, people from mobile phone, when they are trying to access Netflix.com from different country, imagine the practical difficulty. The practical difficulty is from India, it has to travel all the way to reach this Netflix server. Latency. Okay. Here the point where we need to consider the latency. When you take India, right, look at the time and how much distance it has to travel. Look at the London from one guy from the mobile phone when he trying to access through internet, how much time it will take. That is where your CDN coming to the picture. That is where your CDN coming to the picture. When you enable content delivery network, CDN, okay, next to the application load balancer, we would be going for enabling the CDN. Okay. The moment you enable CDN, right, already from the AWS side, there is a service available called CloudFront. Okay, this is nothing but your CDN service, content delivery network. There are many third-party CDN provider also available. I don't know whether you guys are aware about Akamai. Okay, there is one, like many providers are there. But AWS provider one is CloudFront. The moment you enable CloudFront, right, across the world, AWS is already having a edge servers actually. AWS is already having a edge servers. You can consider this as one of the edge server in India. Okay, this is something called edge server India. Okay, similarly, there will be edge server available in UK. Okay, we can name it as edge server. This is edge server India, edge server UK. What this edge server will do, right? The moment you enable CDN, okay, the edge server will go all the way, it will travel, okay, the edge server, right, through network, right, and all the way it will travel, it will reach out to the server, okay, at certain, right, it will get the content updated for some frequency of time. Similarly, this server also will go and it will get the content back and updated. Okay. So moving forward, any people from India, if they need to access the Netflix, right, they will route it to this edge server. Here itself, their request is fulfilled, they'll get the page available. Say they do not require travel all the way to US data center to get the website. Similarly, people from London, right, they don't need to go all the way to US. In the local country itself, they have a edge server located. From there itself, they'll fetch the data. So the responsibility of edge server, right, for some frequency of time, it will go and cache the content in their local country itself. It will go and it will cache the content in the local country itself. By enabling this content delivery network, right, we are optimizing the latency, the performance is improving, security. Your data need not to travel via US to access simple content. So if the CDN is not there, right, it will take long time to load their website. The performance sometimes when the load is increasing, right, especially come to Hotstar kind of thing and all, they'll stream the live when the IPL kind of matches are going. IPL final. Imagine the IPL final is watching. many people are watching that time and all, the many people will access it. So by the way, right, they'll feel lots of latency and buffering. Those things may happen. To avoid that, right, they can go with the content delivery network. This is how content delivery network works. Okay, this is purely applicable when your application has a global presence. Okay, that's what they have mentioned like a optional. So once the content delivery network comes, right, the people accessing a browser, it is go to Route 53. Route 53 will be identifying which domain name and IP address, and also its convert, which is your nearest edge server. Okay, then it is pointing to the actual load balancer. Okay, behind the load balancer, either you'll have a EC2 or ECS or EKS will be there. It will go again. It will fetch the database, the content. Okay, the moment I play any movie, lockup. Okay, the moment I play the movie, it will go and get the data. It will be returned back to the user. Okay, this is what happening in the backend. Okay, anyone has any question over here in this process? The moment you click, this is the three-tier architecture. The moment you user click the application, this is what happening in the backend. Yeah, of course, it has to pass through multiple stages and steps. But in the front, we are seeing, right, it is happening everything in the free fraction of second. Okay, but backend, it has to go through these many processes. So in interview perspective, right, you may expect a question like, can you explain the three-tier architecture of any AWS-based application? So you can come up with the story. So three-tier architecture, the answer should be like the three-tier architecture having three stages, okay, three layers. First one is presentation tier, second one is application tier, third one is database tier. Presentation tier is public, application and database tier should be private. Okay, so this public and private can be defined at AWS VPC, public subnet and private subnet. When you take a presentation tier, right, we'll be using a AWS services, predominantly Route 53 for DNS, domain name to IP resolution, CloudFront for content delivery network. If my application has global present, every country has the edge server, which already AWS provisioned it. So I can leverage the content delivery network. Third one is nothing but application load balancer. That will be a front facing. Okay. Behind this application load balancer only, my EC2 or ECS or EKS. Okay. My application were exactly deployed. Okay. Either I'll use EC2 in AWS or ECS or EKS. So for any of these three things, right, we'll be using auto scaling for automatic scale up and scale down. So for the database tier, right, third one where I'll be using either RDS or Aurora or DynamoDB. There where my application backends are being stored. Okay. So the moment user click the application, first it will go through the Route 53, then it will come to the content delivery network. We can take an example of Netflix that has a global presence, right? So someone want to watch the content from India, it will be routing it through the edge server of India. If someone wanted to view the content from UK, it will be routing it through UK edge server. Then it will come across the application load balancer, backend ECS or EC2 or EKS, whatever. And it has been associated with the RDS database. User will be getting the response back like this. So these are the AWS services are used. These many layers present. This all comes under private. These all comes under public. This is how the proper typical AWS three-tier architecture being used. This is the best practice we need to follow in our project. This is the answer. Okay, got it? If you guys got this interview question, will you be able to answer it?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Any question? Cool then. Okay. So that's it, guys. I planned today. If you guys not having any question, we can drop off. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.